Yo, what's good, bro? Hope you're doing well. This chat is about overconsumption. We have normalized overconsumption and it is killing us, or at least it's killing our creativity. You know, we can't even eat without watching YouTube. We can't even go for walks without listening to music. We can't even drive without hearing a podcast. Heck, we can't even go to the loo and do a without doom scrolling on Reels. This is bad. This is so bad. Why? Because you're not giving your brain enough room to breathe. Instead, you're flooding it and your mind with a never-ending stream of dopamine. This is where I have to ask you a question, bro. How can you expect to possibly produce and create something good, great even, when all you do is consume like a starving baby? Imagine this, right, bro? You're an old person. You're all wrinkly and that. You're hanging out with your grandkids. You're coloring in with them. But your brain, which has been so deteriorated from all the years of short-form content and exposure, cannot bring itself to hang out with them for even 5 minutes without the compulsive urge to check Reddit. Now listen, you may think what I just said there may sound kind of dramatic, but the truth is, bro, your crippling content, your dopamine addiction, will not suddenly cure itself. It won't disappear out of thin air just because you're old and wrinkly and acey. If you don't lock in today, then you'll just be a Reddit-addicted loser when you're older, who can't bring themselves to color in with their grandkids, to hang out with their grandkids, without feeling the compulsive urge to check their phone every 5 seconds. Don't be like that, bro. You have to be like the wise old person, like Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda. Do you catch my drift? You have to be like Mr. Miyagi. Be the wise old person. Don't be the Reddit-addicted loser old person. So, at this point in our chat, right, bro, I feel kind of obliged to give you some actionable advice rather than just whine about doom scrolling. But to be honest, you already know what to do, bro. You already know what the fix is, but you've just been avoiding it. You're too afraid to do it. All you gotta do is give yourself a little space. All you gotta do is give yourself a little silence. Indulge in that sound of silence. Now, on the surface, this may sound kind of easy, bro, but low-key, in reality, it's actually harder than you think. This is because, and bear with me, right, bro, because this may sound kind of Pinteresty, maybe sound kind of waffly, but most of the time, we use stimulation as an escape from the uncomfortable thoughts that we are afraid to confront. The sort of thoughts that plague our mind in the background like Windows 32. These thoughts can take many and multiple forms, you know. It can be a feeling of anxiety towards our future, or regret towards those we have done wrong. I could give a list with countless examples, bro, but it doesn't even matter. Because the point is, if you are human, then you definitely have thoughts that you'd rather not have to deal with. Because confronting them is harder than getting in the ring with prime Stone Cold Steve Austin. But it has to be done, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, you cannot self-medicate yourself with brain rot and IRL Riz encounters. This is not the way you should be living your life. Instead of staring at a screen for 4 hours a day and calling that life, bro, you can actually just do things. And I mean do things. Do things in real life. Do tangible things. You know, you can walk your cat. You can hang out with friends. You can play a sport. Heck, you can even stare at the birds around you, and I don't even mean that in a crazy old kook way. I mean that in like an introspective, really cool stoic way, you know? Just admiring the nature around you, existence as you know it. Appreciate the little things. I don't even need to tell you this, bro, but I'll say it anyway. The rate of return on that investment with your time is so much more greater than just doom scrolling on IG Reels and staring at baddies all day. Even if you decide that you want to do none of that, bro, you decide you just want to sit down in a room in silence doing nothing, that is still really good for you. Meditation type beat. Sitting in silence may be the most productive thing you end up doing all day. If you're not going to do it for your current self, at least do it for your future self. Heck, do it for your future kids. Give them a good example. Show them that life is so much more than just staring at a screen. Show them that life can actually be experienced. You know, I'm no scientist or anything, bro, but I swear I read a study that proves that all this excess consumption can actually shrink your brain. I'd link a study, but I actually don't know where I read that. I may have just come up with this at the top of my head, but you should heed my words because I'm probably right, or probably not. The point is, if you follow it, what's the worst that can happen? You stop doom scrolling for a bit? I think that's a win-win situation. Get comfortable with just existing in silence. Allow the sound of the wind around you to just mute the TV static of your mind. But listen, I've said all I want to say, and you know what you need to do. So go and conquer the world, bro.